Hello, my name is Michael Obodo Jr. and many of you know me as Bobby. And I'm here today to talk about the oil spill in the Gulf region in the United States and related to the oil spill in the Niger Delta region in Nigeria. Now, before I begin, I'd like to categorically state that this is in no way intended to affront or offend those who live in the Gulf region in the United States. I'm here only to make a statement of fact. So criticize me if you must, but please do so with a benign and kind heart. Thank you. Now, I made this video as a result of the many responses and messages I've gotten from those who read an article that I wrote on this particular subject, suggesting that I put a video out there for the world to see. And also for the simple fact that many people would rather listen or hear someone speak than read lengthy pages of articles. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be reading word for word from the article, which is in front of the screen, but digressing from time to time to speak by heart. The subject of my discussion today is the world cries with the people in the Gulf region, but who dies with the people in the Niger Delta region? Oil spill in the Niger Delta. Where cometh their help? Now, I know this is a sensitive subject. It gets emotions running high, but it is one that must be talked about. As we all know, it has been over 2 months since the oil spill occurred in the United States Gulf. And words are not enough to express a profound empathy to those who are directly affected by it and have to live with it for a lengthy period of time. The ones who depend on the Gulf for their food, income to provide for their families, and for the protection of some of the world's most unique wildlife and sea creatures in the area. On no other can you see reflections of anger and frustrations on the American people than on the President of the United States, Barack Obama. But one thing, however, is clear, and that is the fact that BP will pay dearly for this. With the commencement of a criminal investigation by the U.S. Attorney General, the drastic slump of BP stocks, the lawsuits piling up by the second, the present and future health problems that will become BP's burden to bear, the over $2 billion paid by BP to get the affected people to a significantly decent level of financial stability, we all know BP will never be the same again. But please allow me to take you on a journey to the Niger Delta region in Nigeria. Join me so you can see what oil spills caused by not one or two or three oil companies have subjected the people in that region to for 50 years and counting. For 50 years and counting. For over 50 years, these people have been crying to the point where they lack the strength and tears to cry anymore. 99% of the communities in the Niger Delta region sit on or are surrounded by vast rivers and seas, which makes fishing the invariable livelihood of a vast majority of the people. But the people's relationship to the waters doesn't just end there. Given the lackadaisical attitude of multinational companies in the region to provide adequate clean running tap water for them, the waters have, and always had, become the people's source of drinking water. The waters are where the people go to launder their clothes and keep them clean. The waters are where the people go to conduct religious rituals and sacrifices to their gods. The waters are where the people go to take their baths, to urinate, Yes, to defecate. And more than the US, the waters are what generate 99% of the wealth in the region. In communities where a third of the world's oil is being tapped and billions made daily, the people live on less than half a dollar a day. Let me repeat that. In communities where a third of the world's oil is being tapped and billions made daily, the people live on less than half a dollar a day. Now, sometimes when these spills occur and the corporations feel the need to clean up a portion of the area just for publicity stunt, the cleanup projects are contracted to other multinational firms or experts who get paid heavily for it. But the people in the region are saying, give us the job to do, even though we are ill-equipped for it in terms of health hazards and preventions, and may end up dying from it. We just want to provide food for our families. Give us the job. We don't care about the health issues. We just want to provide food for our families. Talk about giving them little money to kill themselves. It's what the corporate managers and CEOs and executives of these companies do every day. How do we give these people $500,000? Or maybe how do we give them $1 million so they can kill themselves? And we can have an ample amount of time to continue on our prospecting of oil. How many people in our loving and caring global community have come to speak for the people of the Niger Delta region? Who between the Niger Delta, multinational companies, and the Nigerian government has reached out to the indigents of Ogoni, Obodo, Ghana, Adeje, Ilaje, Bile, Amuzia, Oka, with 1 million gallons of oil spilled in the Oka community from the ExxonMobil pipelines on the 1st of May 2010 within 7 days. Who amongst the affirmation have come out to say, we are sorry for the horrendous acts that we continue to allow to happen to you for decades running? Who has been made to bear the brunt and held accountable for the decades-long disasters that have plagued the Niger Delta? I know who. The goddamn indigents themselves. That's who. Please pay close attention to these statistics. The disasters in the case of the Exxon Valdez saw over 257,000 barrels of oil spilled. The recent occurring oil disaster in the United States Gulf has seen, give it, hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil spilled to date. Now, with the ever-occurring oil spills in the Niger Delta, there are estimates, listen carefully, there are estimates of between 1.5 to 2 million tons of oil spilled. 1.5 to 2 million tons of oil spilled. Note that this findings by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation and Amnesty International was conducted from 1976 to early 2000s. So we've gotten many more years of oil spills since their findings. With little or no cleanup or drainage efforts done, the over 25 million indigents in the Niger Delta region have been forced to live with the health hazards, loss of livelihood, early deaths, lack of water and sufficient food, this leading to a steady rise in crimes committed by one group of indigents against another, almost like brothers killing brothers, as well as a rise to militia groups.